we can't get out of that. So one of the things I also want to hear from you is it seems that your career progression is really great, and that's something that a lot of people look up to you for. But then at some point, do you ever look back and say, well, maybe I could have taken a different decision at that point? If you look back at your career, anyone that you think about?
Oh gosh, I mean, I think now that I am where I am, I don't think I would change anything. But I will say in the middle, there was a lot of times I was like, why did I change? Why am I moving? What am I doing? Right? I think we can all do that. And it's natural, it's human because you'll never know where that other path would have taken you. And you only know what you know now. That other path could have been worse or it could have been better and you'll never know. But yeah, midway through my career journey, I was like, I changed a lot because I'm just a naturally curious person. And sometimes opportunities would come in front of me and I'd like, yeah, let me try it or let me explore and see. And then suddenly my life is off in a totally different way. So certainly earlier in my career, I wished maybe I had stuck with one single therapeutic area to truly dive into. But then at the same time, I've had this wonderful opportunity to become at least a solid expert in Alzheimer's research, in breast cancer, in multiple sclerosis, in dermatology. Like now I'm in a completely different space in rare disease and cardiovascular disease. So it's been a beautiful mix of things. But early on, I was like, oh, if I just put the energy into one thing, then I could just be that professor in the ivory tower that I once upon dreamed of. But instead, I've chosen to sample deeply from multiple wells. And now I think that has helped me have a very strong foundation to be a leader, to help others make these switches and pieces like that. Which wouldn't have come had I stuck in one lane. So now it makes sense. But in the middle, I was like, what the hell is wrong with me?
Yes, yes, yes. I have a similar experience too. My therapeutic area was oncology. Now I'm in HIV, and sometimes I still ask myself, did I make the right decision? And only time will tell. That's time will tell. Thank you for sharing that.
And only time will tell. And I think it's also, well, you made the decision for a reason. And I think sometimes in retrospect, you'll see some beautiful things. And for me, it's my own personal bias because it's how I work. But I think the more we can learn and be curious and explore, the stronger we are. So I'm excited for you.
Yes, thank you so much. And also the fact that there's always an overlap between things that we learn. For example, there's something that is called malignant HIV. Right? So
Mhm.
that's bringing the two therapeutic areas together. So something about therapeutic area that I also find interesting in your book is that you had a nickname,
Oh, gosh.
the Queen of Tao. Tell me about your nickname.
Yeah, so this is, I guess, a little bit of my unintentional brand story, right? So, my largest academic background is in Alzheimer's disease and specifically in tau pathology. That's where I did my PhD program, and a large portion of my postdoctoral work was in that. And it's my personal passion. And I happened to go to my first MSL job, and in that, one of our first meetings, there was someone who was presenting the pipeline. And the pipeline at the very bottom is like anti-tau monoclonal antibody. And I didn't have the chance to ask a question because he was running out of time. So he kind of summed it up and then we went to break. And so I did a little stalking thing. I ran out into the hallway. I'm like, hey, I saw that on the slide. What's that about? And then he told me, and then we were just sharing pedigrees, and it turned out that he trained with someone who he knew my postdoctoral and PhD advisor very well by reputation. And his advisor and my advisor were friends, and we just started talking about our worlds. He's like, you probably know more about Tau than anyone in this organization. I'm like, hee hee, you're funny. That's ridiculous. There's no way. He's like, no, seriously. And we have an opportunity. Like, I would love to bring you into my lab and talk to my team and share some of your knowledge. And I was like, that is the coolest opportunity ever. So I talked to my manager. He was like, absolutely go for it. And I went and talked with them, and turned out they had all these fantastic anti-tau antibodies in their freezer. And it was just a great opportunity to explore some ideas with them and have that conversation. And so from that, though, my teammates and others knew that I had that opportunity, and so the Tau piece just kind of got stuck on me. And I think it was my friend who's the one who helped me get the job. He knew my background because we had been in grad school together. So I think he was the one who actually labeled me the Queen of Tau, but that's how it happened.